The sustainability model, the compass, which we utilize as a framework from Mr. Atkinson during the course of this conference, is truly the most relevant. We cannot successfully tackle the issues we have today by merely looking at one facet of the problem at a time. And yes, it would be much easier to focus efforts into one aspect at a time. And after all, there are more obvious ways to tackle these separately. We can strive to change environmental regulations without taking into account its impact on the economy. We can strive to improve the economy without taking into account the well-being of the people. It's easy, and we could do that. But with multifaceted problems, we must broaden our thinking to multifaceted solutions. Consider the impacts of change in one facet to another, and see how the pieces all fit together to create authentic change. Knowing and understanding the problems of our world was the first step, and the next step was feeling a genuine personal connection to solve these problems. The final step we ask you to take in this conference is to discover what it means to bring out the living compassion in you, of not merely action, but sustainable action. We all gather here today with one commonality at hand, and that is that we do care. We care about the future of our environment and the future of humanity. And that is what bonds us together. That is what conjures compassion. Though it is present in all of us, by no means is it not of value. Though it is inherent, it is at times the hardest to admit, to show, and to implement into action. Compassion is priceless in its value, but in a world like this, where we're constantly discouraged for being too young or too idealistic, compassion slowly loses its power and momentum. And we find it harder and harder to vitalize this withering emotion. Too often does our compassion lose its way. Too often do we wish to find ways to release this relentless energy inside of us, show how much we actually care, but end up powerless. It is time for that to end. How much longer are we willing to stay passive or stay frustrated? Reality is that we cannot afford and we will not tolerate such a tragedy anymore. And the time has come for us to use tools and attach wings to the power that we hold inside us already. This year's conference is really about ourselves, about not only finding inspiration, but also finding empowerment. And with that, the extent of our compassion will change the world. Thank you.